welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie. Today I've got my April budget. It's later than I'd like to have filmed this, but I've had my budget ready to go in my spreadsheet for a while. So let's go ahead and begin with my calendar spread, and then we'll get into the actual numbers. So this is my Golden Coil planner. I love Golden Coil planners because you can fully customize what layouts you have. So one of the customizations I chose to have is a second calendar spread. So I have one for my personal life and one just for my financial life, which just helps me keep it a little bit more put together. So this is where I have all of my bills laid out, as well as like other things going on. So a few things to note right off the bat. I have in yellow my like weekly kind of regular spending. So on Fridays, I give myself an allowance. That's my spending money to do with how I choose. I don't break it into different categories like eating out, like personal shopping or entertainment. I just lumped them all together because it was getting to be too much. And then on Mondays, I go grocery shopping, so I have those listed there. Anything in purple are the different bills, which we'll talk through. Some of these are adjusting, like Netflix says it's going to increase, but I haven't seen that yet, so I don't know exactly what it's going to be. I'm just kind of estimating. One thing to note though is I'm going on a work conference from the 19th to the 21st, and then I'm taking the 22nd off. So I like to mark anything that's kind of outside of the norm because usually those things impact my spending. So for example, here, I'll probably need fewer groceries for the week because I'm not going to be eating normal meals. I'm going to be going out to dinner and stuff. And then also on Friday, with me not working, that could also increase my like allowance money, you know, my spending. Maybe I'm going out a little bit more. So just something that I have noted, but otherwise nothing too wild and crazy to report on the calendar. So let me go ahead and grab my budget sheet and we'll go through all the numbers. Okay, so like I said, this is my written out budget. I have already done this on a spreadsheet, so I know all of my numbers, but I like to write it out. It feels a little bit more official and it's just easier for me to share with you. So the first thing is I'm a zero-based budgeter. So when I put down my income line, the entirety of that income is going to be brought down across the different categories I have in my budget so that I have zero at the end. Some of it goes to spending, some of it goes to saving and investing and all those different categories. So we're going to walk through that. So my income for the month, what I'm budgeting off of, $4,381.80. This is my salary income only. I do typically get other streams of income throughout the month, but this is what I can absolutely count on. I'm also a month ahead. So the salary, I get paid twice a month, on the 15th and the last day. Those two checks from March, I've just had sit in my account and I'm going to use them in April. So this money is already in my bank account, ready to roll. So the first section I have here are expenses. This does not get updated or changed too frequently, maybe like once or twice a year. So first is my mortgage, $1,011.86. That's pretty typical. My HOA dues, I live in a townhouse, so I do have a homeowners association, $263.15. One of the big benefits that's included, well, there's a few, but my cable and internet are included in this. So we have a group rate for all of the townhouses in my neighborhood. Also like snow removal, lawn care, trash recycling. So this is a pretty good price per month for all the different services. So I'm very fine with how it is. Insurance, I have 3 different types of insurance plans, but for the sake of like this size of paper and how many lines I have, I roll it into one. So this is $171.94. This includes my car insurance, my homeowner's insurance, and then I also have an umbrella policy as well. Utilities, this month $235.94, kind of a higher month. So my utilities, I have a account with $300 in it. I let my utilities sync up to that account and then they automatically, you know, debit the account when the bills are due. So what I do is I look at how much came out in the previous month, and that's how much I'm budgeting here, this $235.94 to put back in. So I'm back at that $300 mark for the next month. March was high for me because first of all, my natural gas is just more expensive than it was a year ago. So that's up and it was cold. Electricity's been normal, but then my water bill is quarterly. So in March, I got hit with my water bill. So it all evens out, but it just feels like 1 month is a little bit more expensive. Anyway, moving right along, my phone, 8420 is what my app says. I'm a Verizon customer. I'm very happy with the phone plan I have. Subscriptions, this is the one that's probably going to be a little bit off this month because like I said, Netflix is changing. I already know how my Amazon Prime's changing, but Netflix I haven't seen come through yet. So $46.89, this is Spotify, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Paramount Plus. I also have Peacock, but I have, that actually is through my TV service somehow. I don't know, it's free. So that is what the subscriptions are. My boyfriend and I do split this. So I budget for the full amount and then he pays me his portion at the end of the month. He also splits groceries with me. So I'm budgeting $450 for the month. This probably will be a little bit higher, I would guess, just with the price of groceries in general. But again, this is something I split with my boyfriend. Gas, I'm budgeting $60. Even with the rising gas prices, I just don't drive very far. So this should be okay. And then I give myself $500 in spending money a month. That's about $100 a week. Again, for eating out, for any sort of entertainment, any, purchases like clothes or whatever for myself, all comes from that money. So the total for my expense section is $28.23.98. And that gives me a remaining of $15.57.82. So that is where we're at going into the funds section. So my funds section is all the savings accounts and sinking funds. So moving through here, annual gets 120 this month. This is kind of used for the things that come up once a year, like my car registration. Recently in March, I just paid my taxes, things like that. Miko is my cat. He gets $40 a month for all of his needed supplies, food, litter, as well as his annual vet visit. It builds on itself. Incidental gets $50 a month. This is my cushion fund. So if I have any bills like the subscriptions that end up being a little bit more, I can pull from here, or just other categories that maybe just be a little bit more expensive this month. That's my buffer there. Vacation, I'm putting $250 in this month, really trying to let that build the first half of the year. Beauty gets $50 a month. This is for my personal, skincare, makeup, stuff like that. Car is getting $50. This is more for maintenance. I do probably need to get new tires either at the end of this year or beginning of next year. So that is something that I'm kind of saving up for, but also just when I need an oil change or any other car related items, I'll have the sinking fund to use. It's a pretty new one to me. So it's nice to have that in my budget now. Gifts gets $80 a month. Again, most of my gift giving doesn't start until June. So the first 5 months of the year, I really have to let this build up. And then June, August, September, December just hit me hard. So it's nice to have that little bit of quiet time right now. Opportunity gets $20 a month. This is a kind of like a giving fund. So anytime there's an opportunity to support a local fundraiser, whether it be for the kids at school or Boy Scouts or whatever that may be, I like to have money kind of put aside for that specific purpose. Home is getting $100 this month instead of $50. I have a couple of things that I need to get. I feel like I just ran out of everything at once in my home. So I've had a few months that are pretty high, but I should be good to go after April, I'm hoping. Okay, and then lastly, I have my emergency fund. My current big overarching financial priority is my emergency fund and building that up to 3 months of expenses. So I've already done the math in my spreadsheet. I've taken out what I'm planning for investing and if I have any cash flow stuff, and then everything outside of that goes to my emergency fund. So I've already done the math. So I should be able to put $672.82 into my emergency fund this month, maybe even more if I make more. So this funds total is going to be $14.32.82, which gives me a remaining of $125, which is all going to go into this investing section. So I do other investing. I have a 401k through work, and I also have an HSA because of my health plan that I invest in. These are both post-tax, so it's coming out of my actual paychecks that hit my bank, not before my paycheck hits the bank. So that's why these two are included, and things like my 401k are not. But I do talk about those in my wrap-up videos. I do a monthly wrap-up reviewing my budget and talk through my savings rate and all that good stuff. So right now for Betterment, this is a taxable account. I put $25 a month. I don't really know what I'm saving for yet. I just know that it's important to, get into investing and get comfortable with investing a certain amount every month when you can, like as early as possible. And then I'm putting $100 into my Roth IRA. After I'm done funding my emergency fund, one of my big goals is going to be bulking up that Roth IRA. So for investing, I have $125, which gives me a remaining of $0. So that is my zero-based budget. I have no plans to cash flow anything this month, but I always like to have it just in case something comes up. And my number one priority, if I get any extra money, I do think I'll get a YouTube check in April for some of the ads, on my channel and stuff. So when I get that, I put some of that money aside for taxes, but then the rest of that, my priority is my emergency fund. So that's where I want to shovel any extra money that I can spare this month. So that is my April budget. I hope you guys have done your April budget. Let me know down below what your big priorities are for April. I will be doing a March budget recap here very soon in the next week or so. Spoiler alert, I spent a lot of money in March, so that's going to be a little painful to film, but hey, that's the part of transparency that comes with personal finances. You have to be accountable for your spending as well. So anyway, that is going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.